Hello and welcome to my talk. My name is Haddad. I'm co-founder and CTO of iCompass. My talk is about chatbots for Tunisian government services. In this talk, I will introduce my company, its core technology, then I will focus on our technology to implement and deploy chatbots for Tunisian government. I will focus on Aziza chatbot. This chatbot was deployed on the context of COVID-19. I will present the technology behind Aziza. Then I will present some statistics and future work. iCompass is a Tunisian startup established on July 2019. On August 2019, iCompass obtained the startup label from the Ministry of Innovation in Tunisia. It was defined as the most innovative private text and speech artificial intelligence technology company in Tunisia. Among the different prizes, I can mention that iCompass won the Open Innovation Competition. This is a North African competition about startup products presenting to solve the COVID-19 problem. Our chatbot Aziza was selected as the best product in North Africa. Our core technology is artificial intelligence. We apply AI on different fields like speech recognition, machine translation, image recognition. But our main domain is natural language processing. We apply natural language processing on African dialects and Arabic dialects. What is iCompass innovation? iCompass proposes products that can process dialects in Africa and in Arabic countries. In Africa, the population is estimated to be 1.2 billion. They speak about 2,000 African dialects. When it comes to the Arabic speakers, they are estimated to be 400 million speakers, talking about 10 different Arabic dialects. These dialects are underrepresented in industry and in academia. Indeed, we cannot find big datasets about these dialects, especially annotated datasets. This is make it hard to apply any machine learning or deep learning models to extract KPIs from these dialects. When we look to government communication in African and Arabic countries, we can observe that the governments use official communication languages. These languages are different from the used local dialects. In the case of the government in Tunisia, we can observe that the government uses French or modern standard Arabic to communicate, but these are completely different from the used language in Tunisia, which is the Tunisian dialect. Indeed, words in French and Arabic are completely different from what Tunisian people use every day. As an example, the word cough was used by the Tunisian government as the French word tu and the Arabic word sual. But Tunisian people use the word kaha to say cough. This is make it difficult for some citizens, especially low-educated people, to understand the official communication. For this reason, we need solutions based on Tunisian dialect. What is Tunisian dialect? Tunisian dialect features Arabic vocabulary spiced with words from Amazigh, French, Turkish, Italian, or other languages. When it comes to writing, Tunisians use Latin characters, but some special characters in Tunisian we don't have the equivalent in Latin characters. That's why Tunisians use some numbers. For example, for ha they use 7, for a they use 3 to transcript what they say in characters. As shown in this table, Words in Tunisian are different from Arabic, French, or English. The first example is Aslama, which means salam in Arabic, salut in French, and hello in English. And we can see that the number 3 comes here to replace the character A for Tunisian Latin characters. For these reasons, it's difficult for traditional solutions to be applied for dialects, especially for the case of chatbot models. When it comes to the COVID-19 in Tunisia, the first case was observed on March 2nd. On March 16, the Tunisian government ordered a local and global containment of the population. As a consequence, helpline numbers and green numbers cannot satisfy citizens' requests. This request is about knowing what is COVID-19, what are the symptoms, and what kind of measures the Tunisian government took in the context of COVID-19. For this reason, Health Ministry in Tunisia asked iCompass to deploy a chatbot in order to answer all the requests of Tunisian citizens. As this chatbot was deployed on March 22, the objective was that the Tunisian government will be able to communicate with different educational level of citizens to avoid all the fake news and to use an easy communication channels that can be deployed on different platforms like websites or messenger, and this can be easily used by Tunisian citizens. iCompass proposed a solution. This solution is a chatbot-based Tunisian dialect. We call it from lips to fingertips. In other words, Tunisians can write whatever they want, asking the chatbot, and the chatbot will understand what is this request and find an answer to their request. This solution is AI-based intelligent conversational service. It's based on multilingual solution, including French, Arabic, and of course Tunisian dialect. It answers COVID-19 citizen questions. It's updated almost daily with new statistics and government decisions. It supports the government communication, hence no fake news, and will contain chit-chat. Chit-chat means all the communication from greetings to joke to telling stories, etc. The architecture of the chatbot is a classic one. It includes 4 layers. One layer is about conversation, one is about NLP, one is about NLU, and one is about the data. A special component will include external services like time, news, and the weather. The presentation layer has 2 components. One is user interface. Here we designed a very easy interface, and the user interaction, which is responsible to manage the dialogue between the user and our chit-chat. We avoided any states of interaction. Indeed, we based our interaction on behaviors, and this interface is easy to manage with different languages. Then we have 2 components on the NLP layer. One component is the data pre-processing. Here we applied a very simple pre-processing, which is elimination of stop words. As seen in this example, if the input is what are the symptoms of the COVID-19, then the output will be symptoms and COVID-19. The second component is data formatting. Will convert the data into the required NLU layer format. The NLU component is responsible of mapping the question to an intent. That means transforming the user utterance to a predefined semantic. So given a question, the NLU component will measure a distance. If an answer matches the question, the answer will be transferred to the user. Otherwise, the question will be stored in a log file, and then this log file will be sent to the data layer. Finally, the data layer is composed of two components. One is the embedding model. Here we used the star space model that embeds user input and intent labels into the same space. And the second component is the log file where we store unanswered questions. We included some external services that are calling external via REST APIs. For example, the time, the weather, and the news. Our chatbot Aziza was deployed on the official website of the Tunisian government and on Messenger on Facebook. So the Tunisian Ministry of Health used this chatbot to communicate with Tunisian citizens. Our chatbot used 100 questions related to COVID-19, so 100 questions in Arabic and 100 questions in French and Tunisian Amazigh. When it comes to CChat, it includes 40 questions in Arabic and 100 questions in French and Tunisian. Here I present some interaction statistics. Our chatbot answered more than 300,000 questions between March 23 and June 18. We had peaks at 10,000 questions per day. The response rate is about 95%, with an average retention about 7.4 questions by user. We can notice that our chatbot performance is very high. Consequently, the Tunisian government asked us to deploy more chatbots for the administration. We deployed one chatbot for the Ministry of Industry and Energy, another chatbot for the Industry and Innovation Agency, another chatbot for the Small and Medium-Sized Enterprise Association, and one chatbot for the Tunisian Chamber of Deputies. We called all these chatbots the Khaireddin family. Why it's called Khaireddin's family chatbots? Because Khaireddin was the founder of the modern Tunisia administration. So as you can observe, iCompass is taking a major actor in the digitalization of government services. We had been also asked by a Nigerian association to create a chatbot for Nigerian citizens. The chatbot is based English and three Nigerian dialects, Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. So we collaborated with a startup in Nigeria called Start Folk Software to create this chatbot. It's called Amina and actually is deployed in Nigeria to help Nigerian citizens to know more about the COVID-19. As future work in our iCompass startup, we are working on voice-to-text solutions and also on voice-to-voice solutions. So our main goal is to deploy chatbots that can understand speech and that can answer with speech. Actually, we deployed one solution, speech to speech. This solution is called the Jasmin Robot. Actually, this robot is deployed in a hospital in Tunisia. It's asking people in the hospital about COVID-19 symptoms and analyzing this answer to see if this person is a potential COVID-19 or no. At the end, I would like to thank you for attending my talk. This is the link of our company, and please do contact me if you need more information or you have a question.